Okay, here we go. Let's dive into it. The first thing that you rock at is that you are an expert at bouncing back from adversity. I mean, if you look past this here and now moment that you're in, no doubt many of us are in a middle of an adverse situation, a major challenge in our life right now. But just look in the rearview mirror and go back as far as you want to, and you will see adversity has been something that you have had to face and fight and overcome ever since you were a child. Ever since you were a child, you can go back and you can find adversity, moments of adversity that you faced when you were younger than 10 years old. You can fast forward or just take a big leap into middle school, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, and you can see adversity that you had to face and overcome. I remember when I was in the 5th grade at Crestwood Elementary School in Little Rock, Arkansas, there was this kid named Whitney. And Whitney, for the entire year, just pushed me and shoved me and made fun of me. And you don't have to be very creative to come up with ways to tease my last name. I mean, Mazzapica just opens the door for any, you can come up with just 1,000 different ways to poke fun at that name. And there was this kid named Whitney, and he just badgered me. And I'll never, ever forget that year. That 5th grade year was horrible, absolutely horrible. 6th grade year, I went to Cunningham Middle School in Houston, Texas. There's another guy named Jeffrey. We were all in the 6th grade, but I think he was a super 6th grader because he had a beard and hair under his arms. And I'm like, how in the world are you taller than my dad and have you can grow a beard like my dad? I think he'd been in the 6th grade 5 times. And for whatever reason, he just didn't like me. And so I can go back to almost every single area of my life and find these moments of adversity. And you can too. And so when you think about all the things that you rock at bouncing back from adversity. I mean, think about all the things that you have lost in your life and you've had to rebuild. You've lost friendships, relationships. You've lost opportunities. Think about all those things that were taken away from you, and you had to fight back to rebuild. I mean, this is incredibly impressive. I could almost turn off this episode right now, and it was worth your time to dial in. Number 2, you are magnetic. Your personality is magnetic. The people that are in your life, your friends, the people that you work with, they have chosen to be in your life. They could, when they met you, they decided that they wanted to be in relationship with you. This is a free country. To my knowledge, you're not paying any one of those people to be your friend. They are choosing, they put your name inside of their cell phone because they like you. There are hundreds of cell phones all around this country that has your name in it. You are among only God knows how many Facebook pages you are a friend of. They have made you their friend. You are magnetic. You have been hired. If you work at a company, they had other options, but they chose you. If you have been working there for a long time, they could have fired you 5 times over again, but you are magnetic. There are things about you that your employer does not want to live without. No doubt you have weaknesses, but your strengths are so dominant that they're willing to overlook your weaknesses. That means you are magnetic. In spite of all the mistakes that you've made with interpersonal relationships, things that you've said that you wish you didn't say, regrets, even still, these people you call your friends, they have stayed your friend in spite of the fact that they have seen you make mistakes over and over and over again. And many times you hurt their feelings, and they still want to be your friend. They still want to work with you. They still want to be your client, your customer, if you own a business. They still want to be with you. That is a gift. You are magnetic. Number 3, you have a skill set that is original, impressive, and valuable. I don't know what it is. There's obviously, most of you guys know I'm a pastor of Celebration Church in the Woodlands, and this guy came up to me after service yesterday, and he wanted to show me the notes that he took while I was speaking. But when I looked at the notes on his iPad, it had very few words on it. Instead, what he did is he built an entire comic strip built around my message. So, for example, yesterday, when I was speaking at church, today's a Monday, I'm making this recording on a Monday, Sunday morning, yesterday, whenever I spoke on how Jesus came across 2 characters on Palm Sunday. 3 characters on his way to Jerusalem on what we now call Palm Sunday. He was riding a donkey to Jerusalem, and he encountered 3 characters. He encountered friends, he encountered strangers, and he encountered frauds. And those were my 3 points that I built upon and expanded upon. Well, when I saw this gentleman in the lobby, he had, in the comic strip, he had Jesus talking to friends. He had Jesus talking to people who were obviously strangers. And then he had Jesus talking to frauds. He had Jesus riding a donkey. And I just thought, oh my goodness, I have never in my life seen somebody take notes like this. This is unbelievable. Your skill set, I don't know what it is. I've got somebody in my family absolutely loves to clean. I don't know what it is. I cannot connect to it. But when they clean a house or their own house, it's like a spider web doesn't have a chance. And then I know other people, they're just incredibly administrative, or their memory is phenomenal. They're witty or funny or dry humor. I don't know what your skill set is, but I can promise you this: it's original, it's impressive, and it's valuable. So your skill set rocks. Number 4, and I'm going to have to kind of unpack this 4th one a little bit. You have swag. I know that's not that word is not in everyone's vocabulary, but when I say you have swag, there's a persona about you. The way you dress, the way you walk, the way you carry yourself, the way you walk into a room, the way you sit is unique. The way you listen, your expression on your face when you're listening to somebody talk to you, the way your eyebrows go up and down when you're listening, the way you tilt your head, the way you move through a supermarket when you're not even paying attention to your persona, you're paying attention to what you're there to do and get out. Nobody enjoys spending time buying rice, beans, milk, and bread. Nobody enjoys that. So if you're there, you're not paying attention to your persona. But even still, if somebody were to see you from across the grocery store and they see you, you've got a way about you. You have a way about you that is unique. Your persona is unique and it rocks. Number 5, your perspective rocks. When you're in the middle of a situation and the way you see and the way you view the situation is unlike anyone else. If you're sitting at a dinner table and everybody is talking about a situation, your perspective is not like any other perspective at the table. The way you see it is unlike anyone else's perspective. You have a perspective that rocks. That is a gift. The way you see it is a gift. It's like for you can kind of spin the kaleidoscope and you see different colors, you see different shapes, you see different things having to do with that situation that nobody else is seeing. And sometimes there's some of you out there that It's not the details of the situation that you spend time on, but you can actually see and feel the emotions that the characters in the situation are probably having right now. For example, when you see somebody that did some bonehead decision, you see more than just the decision or the action. You have the ability to say, you know what, they were probably thinking about something else when they did that, and that's why they didn't do that good of a job. Or they were probably upset when they did that. They were probably angry when they did that, and that's why they did what they did. So you're able to see the second level down, whereas most people can just see the action. You see the attitude under the action. That is a gift. So your perspective rocks. Number 6, your experience is powerful. What I mean by that is the way you were raised, how many times you've moved, or how many times you didn't move, how many times your parents packed up a U-Haul and moved you from state to state, city to city, school to school. Or for some of you, you stayed in the same house for 18 years straight. I don't know how you were raised, but your experience, the way you were raised, was unlike anyone else that has been raised. There's your experience in the city that you grew up in. The neighborhood that you grew up in. And then once you became an adult, the experiences that you had as an adult is so unique. It's so powerful. These experiences has shaped your mindset. It has shaped your character. If you've gone through a divorce, that shaped your character. Some of you have gone through more than one divorce. It's shaped you. It's given you experiences that you cannot buy. You cannot read an experience out of a book and glean something from it. You have to feel it and go through it. That's like me telling somebody, I don't need to climb the Himalayas. I read about what it would be like if I did climb it. I don't need to go to the Niagara Falls because I saw a picture of it. Your experiences cannot be replaced by anything else other than actually experiencing the event. And you have experienced so many highs and so many lows that your experience is powerful. Number 7, you are a catapulter. There are people on this planet that would not exist if some of you didn't do what you do. In other words, if you have kids, those kids would not be here if you didn't do what you did. You are a catapulter. There are people that would not exist if you didn't have that particular evening at a hotel or at the honeymoon, or maybe it wasn't planned, and so it was at a place that maybe you shouldn't have been doing what you were doing, and somebody was born out of it. But guess what? God determines when a heartbeat is created and when a heartbeat isn't created. And he said, you know what? This might be out of traditional timing. This might be sooner than what is comfortable for you. But I'm going to go ahead and put a heartbeat inside of your womb. I'm going to go ahead and make you a mother. I'm going to go ahead and make you a father. There are children, there are adults that are walking on this planet that would not even be here if it were not for you. And even beyond that, there are people in this world that are living a life, their level of happiness, their level of joy, their level of stability would not exist if it were not for you. And that is a powerful thing. Number 8, you are a visionary. You rock with vision. Now, you may be saying, what do you mean? I'm no Bill Gates. I'm no Zuckerberg. I'm not a visionary. But you know intrinsically what a situation should look like. You know intrinsically what the future should look like, what your family should be like. You know, you can see it. You can see it. And when the family is not operating the way it should be, when you are not living to the standard that you should be living at. You can sense it. You can feel it, that there are the dials on the dashboard are not, that they're off. They're off. They need to be recalibrated. You need to wake up earlier. You need to go to sleep earlier. You need to be more disciplined. You need to dial in. You need to change your attitude. The kids, the wife, the husband, the workplace. You intrinsically know the way something should be, the way a life should be lived. That is vision, my friends. You rock with vision. Number 9, you are an influencer. When you're in a good mood, you make other people in a good mood. When you're in a bad mood, other people get in a bad mood. You are an influencer. You influence your friends' moods according to what your mood is like. If you're feeling good and you're having an awesome day, that bleeds over to other people. Do you understand how powerful that is? That your mood, your mindset, the way you're feeling is so powerful that you can influence and cause other people to be as positive as you, or you can cause them to be as negative as you. You can cause them to have a good time. You can cause them to have a bad time. That is unbelievable. You are an influencer. And then number 10, you rock at turning the tide. You rock at turning the tide. What do I mean by that? See, sometimes there's the tide is coming in your life, and it just seems like every single wave is just one bad moment after the next. And you're standing at the beach, and these waves are coming in, and every single piece of news that comes in is just one bad news after the next, after the next, after the next, and starts getting overwhelming. You have the ability to turn the tide. In Psalms 56, verse 9, it says, every single time you pray, the tide of the battle turns. That is powerful. Every time you pray, the tide of the battle turns. Oh my goodness, you have a personal relationship with the creator of the universe that loves you so much that when you seek him in Jeremiah 13, Jeremiah 29:13, it says, you will call me and you will find me when you seek me with all your heart. Come on. The creator of the universe is saying, when you call me, you're going to find me. And he goes further and he says the effectual fervent prayer. This is James 5:16. When you pray fervently, you have my attention. It availeth much. You turn the tide of situations, not just in your own life, in other lives. When you pray, things happen. That is such a unique thing. You are not God, but you are a friend of God's. I hope that this has encouraged you. As I sign off, I want to say this. Everyone is going to spend eternity somewhere, so make sure you are ready. And number 2, go out, put out the extra effort, be outstanding, and shock the world. Until next time, talk to you soon.